introduce yourself, Phyllis?
Yeah, I'm Phyllis Marks from Central West Virginia. And the first two men reminded me of my husband when my boys was little. They would tell their dad, tell us a big lie, Daddy. He'd spin a big yarn, and I wish I could remember some of them now. And the other ladies talking about being a hillbilly, and when I was up in Columbus getting my pilot dog, why they called me a damn hillbilly all the time. I got tired of that after a while, so I told them what they was. I said, you're black eyes, and my dictionary says that's a nut of very little value. But I'm gonna tell you about when I won the spitting contest. I come up here today to tell you about the time I won the spitting contest up at the Waldorf Astoria in New York City. I was sitting there t'other week in the general store, and I was spitting it in the stove door, and the storekeeper come in and talking to the drummer. The drummer turned around and he spit right in that open stove door, and he didn't pay attention to me. I didn't say nothing. Finally, I chewed it and I took it in, and I spit right around the storekeeper and right around the drummer, right around the coal bucket, right in that open stove door on the other side. Finally, the drummer turned around and he said, "Stranger, you sure can spit." I didn't say nothing. He said, "How'd you like to go up to New York City to the spitting convention? They'll have spitters all over the country. In the United States, its territories, possessions, and parts of Texas." I didn't say nothing. I just got my clothes and flower poker next week, heading for New York City. And I got up there at that Waldorf Astoria, and I walked in the big sitting room, and there was velvet curtains hanging down and velvet strings. And there's a lot of good spitters there too, for all territories and possessions and parts of Texas. And the clerk didn't pay no attention to me, so finally I just chewed up and took aim and spit and ran right around the clerk, right around the velvet curtain, and right in the brass spittoon on the other side. He said, "Stranger, you must have come up here to spit." And I said, "Yeah." And he said, well, he sent a little fella with me up to my room, and I went up there. There's papers laying all around the place, spitting for the best results, spitting for plain and fancy spitting, spitting for fun and profit, spitting in biblical times. But I didn't come up there to read, I just come up there to spit. So I went down the next morning, and there was a bunch of good spitters there too, from all the United States, territories, and stations, and parts of Texas. And finally, he looked at me and he said, "After you've seen all these spitters, do you still want to spit?" And I said, "Yep." I said, "See that chair sitting over there?" And he said, "Yep." I said, "Put that chair on top of that table. Put that table on top of that other table." So he did, and I chewed up and took aim, and I spit, and it went right around the clerk, right around that velvet string, right around that velvet curtain, right through the rungs of that chair, and right through the rungs of that table, through that other table, and around that rubber plant, and right in that brass spittoon on the other side. Feller said, "Stranger, you sure can spit." So he gave me my money and my ribbons. You know me, I don't say nothing much. I just took them and started out. Got on the bus and started for Glenville. And there was that Michael Klein on the bus. I always knowed him, but he didn't pay attention to me. So I sat there and watched him a while. And he was reading. So I chewed out and I took aim and I spit, and it went right past his newspaper. And say nothing. I didn't say nothing. So I chewed up and took aim again, and I spit, and it went right twixt his newspaper and his eyeglass. Still, he never said nothing. I never said nothing. Finally, I chewed up, took aim again. So spit and went right twixt his eye and his eyeglass. Right then he noticed me. And he come over, and we've been just the best of friends ever since. And I want to tell you fellas, that's one thing you can do to make friends now. Not just ordinary spitting, but fancy spitting. When you do that fancy spitting, you're bound to make friends. So I rode on into Glenville, got off of the bus, and the flags was waving, and the bands was playing, and they wanted a speech. I didn't say nothing. I don't talk much. But finally I said, now fellers, I ain't done a thing here that any upstanding feller couldn't do if he had enough ingenuity and stick-to-itiveness, but you have to get you some old hickory chawing tobacco, for it don't string and it don't splatter. And I think I spit all over Michael.